Welcome to Close the Door and Come Here, a Game of Thrones and a Song of Ice and Fire podcast with heavy leanings towards our two favorite characters, Jaime and Brienne.
There was a bear, all black and brown and covered in hair. From there to here, from here to there, the bear, the maiden fair.
Hi, I'm Lot, Lady of Tarth, -post on Tumblr, joined with Guile.
Hi, I'm Guile and Subterfuge on Tumblr.
Clotho.
Hi, I'm Clotho. I'm Clotho Spindle on Tumblr.
Eon.
Hi, I'm Eon. I'm Eon Blue Negative on Tumblr.
And we're joined with first-time guest, Patsy.
Hi, I'm Patsy, and I'm Donkey Leg on Instagram.
Nice. I don't even want to look up your Instagram, sir.
I kind of do now.
Yeah, it is not perverted at all. I don't know where Donkey Leg came from, but it works.
That's a trick. And I will not be fooled. I'm sure it's a lovely Instagram. Check out Donkey Leg's Instagram. So we're covering Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 2. As always, spoilers for the show in particular and potentially the A Song of Ice and Fire books. Trigger warnings for rape discussion and just really general violence discussion. So as you may have noted, rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. A hot red-headed sorceress gave me a bath and a nice haircut, so I'm back. All right, let's just get right into the episode. It opens up with Bran and Bloodraven, and they are tapped into weretree.net, watching old home movies back in Winterfell. They're two boys combating, and it's Ned and Benjen, while a young Whiskers looks on. And we have Lyanna, who trots in on her fancy white pony. We also get introduced to a young Willis, a.k.a. Hodor, who can talk. He eventually gets dragged away from the sparring by Nan. When Bran gets sucked back out of the vision, he asks Hodor what happened, and Hodor is the only reply he gets. So I'm going to stop that so we can talk about the flashback sequence, and I'm just going to read a question we got from our own very comma Splice, which I think will prompt our discussion. So she says, flashback scene. One of the asshats, hair, in quotations, I think, said in the inside the episode that they stayed away from flashbacks because that's a hallmark of lazy storytelling. Discuss.
To be fair, that's not exactly what they said. It was a very qualified statement, and I think George R.R. Martin himself kind of agrees with it, and that's why the 5-year age gap didn't happen, is because he felt like he had too many stories that would have had to have been told in flashbacks. Mm-hmm. So I think of all the things to be annoyed about in this episode, the flashbacks the least.
Oh, the
I don't know.
was sweet.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I kind of wish
it's nice to see Winterfell not burned and everyone was having a good time.
Yeah. Like Bran even says everybody's happy or everyone looks happy. Yeah, remember Season 1?
I felt like Bran was nice to keep going.
It was kind of nice to have that reaction that I imagine people that were old-time book readers had when they first saw, oh my god, that's Ned or Robert or Cersei. I kind of had that with Lyanna. Oh my god, it's Lyanna. So it was kind of nice to be able to have that feeling as a relatively new book reader.
Right.
Yeah, that was sweet.
It kind of makes
Whiskers was hot. I mean, kind of, right?
Before you got into all that crazy beard braiding, Sir Roderick.
It's Roderick.
We call him Whiskers because his hair is crazy.
And Hot Uncle Benjen was not yet Hot Uncle Benjen. It was pre-Hot Uncle Benjen.
Pre-pubescent Hot Uncle Benjen.
Yeah, Uncle.
I call him that at this point.
I know, it feels really wrong.
And I now ship Lyanna and Willis, and I'm going to call it Lyanna. I ship them now. Screw Rhaegar and his melancholy harp playing. Who needs that?
So,
they were
do you
so
think
cute.
that there was a romance and Willis tried to defend Lyanna whenever Rhaegar kidnapped her, and that's how he got he became Hodor as he got kicked. And
I never thought about that. He definitely, they
ridiculous.
smiled sweetly to each other. So, hey.
What if L+H equals J?
He didn't get the tall jeans. He got the short jeans.
I think you just created some really great tinfoil.
It's gonna be all over Reddit tonight.
Rewatch it. I rewatched it several times. I could see it. I kept watching them interact.
Great is subjective.
It was really nice to see Bran again too. Like I missed him. I love Bran in the books. I love the Bran storyline. So it was just nice to have him back. And Isaac's like a young strapping man of like 17 now, which is just crazy.
I really liked seeing like Bloodraven 2.0 because Max von Sydow is playing Bloodraven now versus whoever played him in 2 seasons ago. They just had like this. I don't know who they had, but that was not Max von Sydow a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Cool.
I think it was probably a good idea to hold off a season, like having Bran on pause for a season, because it made his growth spurt less jarring in a way. Like some time has passed, right?
His hair looks really nice too.
Oh, it does. He grew into his looks. He's looking pretty cute there.
He's cute.
God, are we like old perverts? Like,
I know he's still 17.
What happened?
He's underage.
I'm sensing a theme tonight. I'm very sorry, Patsy. All right, let's go on to the next scene, which is Bran outside of the Weir.net. He tells Mira it's not safe outside and to come back in. She's sitting outside the cave, and he fills her in on what he saw, and he says there's a war coming. And then Leaf, who's the little childlike girl creature, and Mira have an exchange. After Bran is carried back inside, Leaf tells Mira Bran didn't need you. She's changed too. I don't remember her looking like. She looked a little bit like the Andromeda character.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about? Yeah. It's like that Kevin Sorbo space show.
Like Star Trek.
But I was listening to a podcast today, and they were saying she like looked perverted, and I didn't understand what they were saying. Like they said she was overly sexualized. Did you guys feel that way?
No.
No way.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
No, I wasn't getting that vibe at all.
No, she looks pretty, upset over losing her brother, and it doesn't look very like she's having a really good time there. Bran's the only one that's having a great time.
Yeah.
Well, he's hooked into weirwood.net right now.
Yeah. What do you think Mira's going to be able to do for Bran? Like, that's what I didn't understand, like, where Leaf was going with that.
Well, Mira, she's one of the, she's able to fight. She's one of the frog people, and she can help there.
So what, she's supposed to, like, defend the cave?
I think he said when he goes back out into the world, because that was another interesting thing.
That's what I... Yeah.
Yeah. Or get him to wherever he needs to go, even.
Yeah, she made a comment about him not staying there, right? So it sounds like
exactly.
Her whole life is about, taking kind of weakling boys and protecting them.
Maybe that's why she's so bummed out right now.
Yeah.
I was thinking she was thinking about her brother who died, but I guess it could be that.
I thought the last shot of her looking out at the north, though, was, like, absolutely beautiful.
It was. I totally agree.
Amazing.
Definitely. This season so far, the visuals have definitely been better.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Got that budget.
Yeah.
Well, I just love the mysticism of Bran's plot, too. So seeing that and seeing what it looked like made me really happy for things that I kind of hope will happen in the future in his plot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Does it make you any more optimistic for the Tower of Joy flashback, seeing this flashback, Guile, or are you still in, like, I don't care mode?
I'm looking forward to that. I really am.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
I didn't care until the preview, and then I realized that I kind of did care a little bit.
I'm totally excited about that. I want to see Sir Arthur Dayne.
Yeah.
You're excited too, Patsy?
Yeah, I think that's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like... I like history, and like even A Song of Ice and Fire history is cool. So like if they're gonna show us stuff that happened, back then, I think that'll be cool.
Yeah,
I want to see if they have like Arthur Dane, and I want to see if they have Howland Reed along with Ned Stark.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Okay, let's go to Castle Black. Alistair is knocking, and Davos won't let him in. Just as the door is about to be hammered down, Wan shows them how it's done by knocking down the front gates and bringing in a band of wildlings, including Tormund. One archer lets an arrow fly, and Wan smash, and ends the altercation pretty quickly. Dolores
do that.
Dolores Ed orders Alistair and his men to be thrown into the cells. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was.
Why do you think that they didn't have Alistair and Ollie get killed at this point? Like, what are they saving them for?
For Jon to do
I wanted
it?
to see Ollie get sliced so bad. I was so disappointed when they like grabbed him instead of chopping his head off. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it was disappointing, and all I can think of is they want to give that to Jon to let Jon decide their fate.
Yeah,
or obviously they didn't know he's still alive, but no.
So maybe that'll be interesting if it's like a sign that Jon is a little bit different, because I could see where like old Jon would be a little bit more merciful, and maybe like new Jon would be like, kill him.
Oh yeah,
that's really a good point.
True.
I mean,
especially Ollie. That that'll be telling.
Yeah, it's one thing to kill Alistair, but to kill like a little kid, that's a good point. That'll show his character.
Yeah,
I agree. That's I bet you I'd put money on it.
Yeah, I think Alistair messed up. If he would have just brought Davos some mutton, they would have let him right in.
He didn't deliver the goods.
Steamy mutton stew.
They were really big into people getting splatted against walls in this episode.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
That was a good parallel between the mountain and the giant. Like the two biggest guys just splatting people on walls.
Yeah, we got two of those. I was pretty thrilled. Two great dudes splattering against wall scenes. It's a good episode.
Like a nice montage, a bottle episode of just that.
All right, so Tormund visits Jon's corpse and tells them he'll get my men together wood for a fire. Which, I don't know. So that just closes that scene out. And then we go to King's Landing. And we have some drunk who sounds a lot like Russell Brand recounting Cersei's walk. He goes for a piss, and Franken-Gregor smash.
So do you think that the Mountain likes to go to stand-up comedy shows? Is that what he does?
He goes around King's Landing looking for the newest acts.
He heckles hard.
If he doesn't have a head, or if he's like a zombie, how does he, like, if no one's there to instruct him, how does he know who to kill?
Yeah, I was curious about that.
Yeah, he has a lot.
Also, I feel like D&D they must hate Jaime really bad, because like the gratuitous, like, Jaime Lannister half an inch short of an inch, like, and then like the year before it was all like, oh, he's 40, like they're just like constantly ripping on him.
I'm just jealous.
I mean, they could very well be just jealous. You're right, but yeah, it was like poor Jaime, no respect.
I thought that was cool.
That's pretty appropriate, though, for Jaime. No respect, right?
I guess, but in like a totally different way.
Yeah, I don't know about Franken-Gregor.
That's
Maybe
true.
Qyburn's just really got him well trained, and like, I don't know. It's like,
I mean, if it is Joffrey's head, that would be fairly in character for Joffrey.
Oh.
I haven't heard that. Is that what people are saying? It's Joffrey's head?
That's what we're saying. You don't go by us. It's total ridiculous
It's a
nonsense.
theory. I'm not sure it's like an accepted or valid theory.
We've also had Tywin's head, Joffrey's head.
I've heard Rob's head. I've never heard Joffrey's
Well, I
head.
just thought Joffrey's head because the eyes kind of look like Joffrey's eyes did when he died.
Yeah, I can see that. And he's like purple. Maybe that explains the purple.
He is purple.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's true.
Oh, snap.
It would be so great if it were Joffrey's head. That would be like a million times better than old Melisandre. Like, that would be the best thing ever.
That would be sweet.
We'll have to keep
And if they
looking out for
hired
hints.
that actor just to be the head of the mountain.
And he would do it too. He would totally do it.
They CGI his head onto it.
I'm in. I am 1,000% in.
Confirmed.
So, Frankengrager returns to Cersei, and she observes the blood on his arm, and then they go on their way to attend Myrcella's funeral. They are barred by a bunch of Lannister guards by Tommen's orders. Cersei is upset, but turns away, and Sir Robert Strong follows. The head Lannister guard breathes a big sigh of relief.
Right there, I think we saw a glimpse of Canon Cersei in that scene right there, because that was Cersei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Glanced
happy
at the
with
blood
that.
and didn't even,
Yeah.
didn't even pause.
Nope.
That was anybody would be upset in that situation. That was crazy that they didn't let her go to the funeral. So
Yeah. She was really cool and resigned though about it.
yeah,
you know?
I thought in the book she literally would have sent the mountain on them.
But then again, this could be an indication that she's changed because of what's happened to her.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah,
And
that's how I looked at it.
Yeah, and we do get in the books where Kevin is disturbed by how calm she is.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
So,
Calm before the storm.
Yeah.
let's hope. More
Before
smash.
she gets back with Jaime.
No, get out.
We know you just got here, but get out.
So our next scene, we have Jaime and Tommen, and they're viewing Myrcella's body. And I'm suddenly very thankful that Tommen banned Cersei, because we all know what an aphrodisiac effect these wakes have on Jaime.
And the High Sparrow would have walked in.
Had to go there, sorry.
He's a voyeur. He was hoping for that.
So Tommen has regrets about not protecting Marjorie or his mother. Jaime tells him we all make mistakes. And then the High Sparrow interrupts their chat. Tommen demands to see Marjorie. High Sparrow is like, nope, she needs to confess. Jaime tells Tommen to go see her mother. And then we get this exchange between Jaime and the High Sparrow where they talk of sins and atonement. And again, I love this line when Jaime says the gods won't mind. They spill more blood than the rest of us combined. The sparrows come out of the shadows and surround them. And then the High Sparrow says, every one of us is poor and powerless, yet together we can overthrow an empire.
Yeah, that was a good line.
Yeah.
So I have a couple questions, though. What do you think Jaime knows at this point? Does he know about Lancel? What does he think Cersei's sins are?
He doesn't know about Lancel right now.
I didn't even think about that.
I mean, to Kama's comment earlier about lazy writing, I mean, I was a bit dismissive of it in terms of flashbacks, but I do think in terms of, telling us what the fuck people know about things. What does Jaime know about what happened to Cersei? What does Davos know about what happened to Stannis? Just take 2 minutes and explain these things, because again, that was my major complaint about last week was, don't make me have to infer everything. Just tell me.
No, you were dead on last week. I was thinking the same thing. That was ridiculous. And especially with Davos, for him to just so quickly jump on the Jon bandwagon when he doesn't even show any effort towards Stannis dying, that I didn't understand that.
What was your
Especially
question,
the
Matt?
Melisandre thing too. So again, that's my big question is, what do you think Jaime thinks is Cersei's sins? What? Surely he would have inquired by now, right? Why did I do this to you? What happened to your hair?
You would think there might have been a conversation at some point around there.
Yeah, it's like he's not even questioning it, but then he's talking about his sins.
Yeah, I mean, because we lose some scenes, and I understand it's time, but there's certain scenes I really wish we would get. I wish we would have gotten him and Cersei talking right after, Myrcella docks. They dock with her body. That would have been, things that you fill in kind of. And, I was wondering, Jaime looked his hesitancy over, attacking the High Sparrow, and I wondered if his hand played a part in it at all. We haven't gotten a lot of that, and a lot of that is internal. But it seems like to some extent they left that behind in the last, that it was any big deal at all that his hand is gone. But I wonder, I was sort of filling in the blanks myself and thinking, well, maybe he's thinking about, I'd be fighting with my left hand. I don't know. But
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I was just there's 45 guys around and he doesn't want to die.
Well, I do wish they'd address the hand a little bit. I wish we'd get a little more of that, yeah. like his feelings around that.
I really hated the Jaime Tommen scene though, and I think like my brain, I hated it, but you know like how they say if you lose a little bit of your eyesight, your brain will like fill in the blanks.
Mhm.
And I think my brain is just like taking these like out of character Cersei scenes and like references and then just changing them so that they're accurate.
It could be.
And
Yeah.
it's making it not bother me as much. Like my mind won't accept that it happened.
I think just to have any measure of happiness with watching the show, you have to really just compartmentalize it.
Yeah.
Like, this is show. These are show people. These are bizarro people.
Yeah.
These aren't normal
I had to
people.
cut out the cousin killing, but then he had to bring it up again in this scene. But
Yeah.
Just just this. Oh, she did everything she did for you. Like, I mean, maybe it wouldn't be so galling if we hadn't just spent half a year reading through the Cersei chapters where she clearly is a terrible mother who's never done a damn thing for Tommen other than try to usurp his throne. It
Tried
wouldn't
to
be
hug
quite
him
as
that
bad.
once, and then he freaked out.
yeah, I thought about that too. It's so close to the because we've just delved into that, so I think it's so hard for us to look at this with Cersei because we've read it all recently.
Yeah.
Could be. All right, let's go back to the Red Keep where Tommen visits his mother. He tries to explain his reasons for keeping her there, and he tells her he wishes he had been stronger to save her from what happened to her, and he asks for her help. She responds, always, and then they embrace. So you probably love that, huh, guys?
What I really liked about it was whenever she was asking him what was Marcilla wearing. Was she wearing red or gold? And Tommen says she's wearing gold. She was wearing gold, and that's part of her little prophecy about her kids being shrouded in gold.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
Embrace. I mean, whenever she's holding Tommen, it's like it's sinking in that she's
Oh,
it's
man.
coming true.
That's a good catch. I didn't think about that.
If that's all it took to like break the prophecy though, like, oh, I'll just dress her in red, like this whole like really, getting rid of Marjorie and stuff, like, oh really, you just had to have her wear a different dress, problem solved,
But it was still a nice touch at least, but you're right.
That was a good catch. I did not catch that. Okay, so we're going to Marine, and Tyrion's drinking, telling bad eunuch jokes, and schooling people on dragons. Those people are Varys, Missandei, and Grey Worm, who are in this scene as well. He tells them that dragons do not do well in captivity. And then Varys and Tyrion go down to see the dragons. Tyrion approaches the two chained dragons and unchain them. Tyrion escapes unharmed. He tells Varys at the top of the stairs, next time I have an idea like that, punch me in the face.
There was a brief moment where I thought when he was asking Missandei about the dragons that he was going to tell her to go first as a test run. Her and Grey Worm down there. Hey, if you do good.
That probably would have been a better idea, but it would have also looked like really cowardly. I'm just logic, baby.
They're your friends, aren't they?
I love his little story he told though, like, which I'm sure was like, wasn't that an Uncle Jarian story?
Yes, it was. I actually looked that up because I was like, I think that's Uncle Jarian, and it was.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just a little dragon like me. But how did you guys feel about his to Varys, where he's like, he thinks dwarf jokes?
He totally does. I'm sure.
Oh well, don't we all?
Yeah, I wrote in my notes. He got the cock joke out of the way right off.
Yeah.
So I have to ask this, of course. Do you think this reaffirms the secret Targ theories regarding Tyrion?
I don't think so. I think that's why they brought up the friend thing, because they're not trying to play that card. They're just like, he's a friend to drag,
It doesn't make any sense, though. Like, how is he a friend to dragons? They've never seen him.
That's true. But I think that was my interpretation. I felt like that's why they brought it up right before he went down there.
Or they're like dogs, and they can just sense who's a good people and who's not.
Yeah, that kind of seems like what they're going for.
Yeah.
That was another thing.
I really liked that they showed.
They were talking about how smart they were, and I don't remember that in the books, like about talking about how smart they were. But I think that was another part, like you said, they're smart enough to sense who has their best interests,
Oh yeah.
So,
I really love the CGI for the dragons this time
yeah.
around.
Definitely.
They looked real.
I was
it was
disappointed with the
believable.
color, though. Like, I was looking to see Book Viserion, and it wasn't.
I think a lot of it had to do with the lighting, though, because it was in a dungeon and you're only getting flame light. So, but I mean, it was believable. It looked really good to me.
I agree.
And I was happy with it.
Wasn't it beautiful?
No, I
with
thought the whole scene was good.
Little pilot light almost in the dragon's mouth that was glowing.
Yeah.
Little pilot light.
That's exactly what it was like.
Did at any time?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, did at any time did you feel like Tyrion was gonna get lit?
No.
Yes, I thought he was going to be a snack, a dragon snack.
How shocking would that have been? That would have been amazing.
See, that would have been the most shocking death ever.
Well, that would almost like first, what's his face down in Dorne, and then Roose. So like they're not against shocking deaths this year.
The fandom would have went fucking insane.
Oh
like,
yeah, that would have been wild.
It would have been great. Some people just want to watch everything burn. All right, let's go to Bravos. The waif visits a blind Arya and kicks the crap out of her. And nobody does anything, I want to point out.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, these other homeless people have to have a little affection for her. What's going on?
I hope
She's competition for the coins, like one less beggar.
Yeah, one less beggar on their strip.
I just hope Arya's storyline picks up because it's been pretty boring. I mean, she's just getting the crap beat out of her. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that was.
I was happy to see Jaqen come in, and that I'm sure something's going to happen now that he's with her.
Yeah. I mean, she loses her. Let me just finish this bit up though. She loses her temper, and you mentioned Jaqen Hagar shows up, and 3 times she replies, "A girl has no name," and then he lets her follow him.
Yeah. It's good.
Okay.
I felt bad when she was getting beat up, but I thought it was a pretty good scene overall.
Yeah, it's pretty rough to watch, though.
Definitely, yeah, that was crazy.
It would be nice if they actually show that she's able to warg, because doesn't she use like a cat to see if she loses her sight? And it's like they seem to have forgotten that the other Stark kids have these abilities.
Yeah, they have to get to that at some point, I would think, because that's like her biggest asset as a faceless man. Like, she could literally use animals to do her bidding. That's huge.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, she's going to use serpents to kill someone, huh?
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
That someone is Tobin. Sorry, Clotho.
No. Sweet baby Tobin, no.
Okay. And we're going to go on down to the next scene, and it is a doozy. So be prepared. This is going to suck. Then we'll pick it back up again. Roose learns of Lady Sansa's escape and the death of 6 of Ramsay's best hunters. Ramsay suggests she's heading to Castle Black, and the new Lord Stark asks Ned Stark's last surviving son, and Roose corrects him. Jon Snow is a bastard. Ramsay doesn't let that slide. He wants to take Castle Black. Roose cautions Ramsay on acting like a mad dog. A maester interrupts, announcing that Lady Walda has given birth to a boy. Ramsay embraces dear old dad and then stabs him in the guts.
And this is where I thought I heard Kama scream from somewhere up north.
It was quite loud here in Canada. She's not
away from America's hat.
He tells the maester Walken to send ravens and let everybody know that Roose Bolton was poisoned by their enemies. Ramsay then demands to see Lady Walda and the newborn baby. He takes her to the dog pens and whistles. And I kept it short on purpose because to me this was right up there with watching that Shireen scene last season. This was just, ugh.
Well, I mean, I read an interview.
I literally fast forwarded and I couldn't even watch that. It's ridiculous.
You fast forward it?
I had to. I couldn't watch it. Like,
Not even the first time.
unnecessary brutality. Obviously, that's how Ramsay rolls. No, first time I watched it on HBO Now or whatever, so fast forwarded. I couldn't do it.
I couldn't watch it the second time either. I did the same thing.
I didn't watch it the second time because it affected me so strongly that I couldn't watch. But you know, I was kind of going to go over his death first because I remember, you know, kind of last week I was feeling, you know, it wasn't very smart of him, but in an interview with Michael McElhatton, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, he said that, which is different than what they say on Inside the episode, it contradicts it, but he said, well, we kind of came to his decision when we were filming it that it really was a spur-of-the-moment thing. And when he says we, I was assuming, you know, I don't know if that was the director, I don't know if that was him and the actor who plays Ramsay. I kind of like that take on it. And then he goes on to say that he believes that Roose would have killed, in that very scene, would have killed Ramsay before Ramsay struck. So that sort of made me feel a little bit better about, you know, because I was questioning, you know, why would someone who's so intelligent about, you know,
calculate.
Yeah, exactly, reading these things ahead of time, why would he make himself so, you know, it made me feel a little better. But inside the episode, David Benioff directly contradicts it and says that, you know, obviously because Lord Karstark is there, that it was premeditated. So I don't know. I guess you can take it however you want then.
But see, I feel like they didn't do a good enough, because he certainly doesn't have a blind spot for Ramsay. It's not like he couldn't see past his love for his child, you know, like they show that he clearly, you know, doesn't respect him very much. So, like, I don't think they showed, like you said, he's too calculating for what happened to happen, I feel like.
Yeah.
I agree.
And that was my only
But the
comment.
Karstark thing was interesting. I like you said, I'm wondering if it was premeditated, but it looked like it had to be because he didn't react at all.
I think it was totally, he was in on it, because even his reaction in the exchange he had with the maesters, totally.
That was what really put the icing on the cake, when he was like, "You're talking to your lord, sir."
Yep. So maybe we could say they were both premeditating, and then one was just quicker on the draw, like a duel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Walda, I couldn't. That really, I couldn't pay attention to the rest of the episode. And the actress, her name is Elizabeth Webster. For the little bit she did, oh my
I really
God,
liked her.
The empathy.
She was such a sweet creature, you know.
Exactly.
And what pissed me off the most is following that scene is a Brienne scene, and I'm like, and it was the same thing. I couldn't shake the previous scene off to properly enjoy my Brienne scene.
Yeah, I couldn't enjoy the rest of the episode until I rewatched the next day. Like, I thought I was going to have nightmares.
I couldn't do it. Like, I didn't want that to happen. I knew it would have brought me down, and I had to get through it.
And I kept saying, I hope they fade to black. And I know they don't do that, but I hope they fade to black as soon as he walked in that door. And they actually had murder dogs. You know, this time they had dogs that looked like they could murder someone.
I noticed that they actually had the angry dogs this time.
Unlike last episode.
Yeah.
It's weird. It didn't really bother me that much.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I know. I was trying to think. You know, I was trying to think about it, and I was kind of like the scene. I think it's in season 2 where the woman in the brothel's daughter by Robert her little baby by Robert gets killed. Like, that bothered me more. And I think it's because, for me, the scenario of, like, this government entity coming in to kill the baby is, like, more realistic to me than Ramsay, who just is kind of a cartoon. And so, like, the realism of that was more disturbing to me than, like, the violence or, like, the more, the grosser violence of the Ramsay incident.
Yeah.
So it's
I see where you're coming from.
That's interesting. I thought about that scene too, and I actually thought Walda's scene was worse, and I was trying to figure out the same thing. Why did I think it was worse? And the only thing I could come up with was that feeling after childbirth, and kind of I was empathizing with that. How you feel this intense love, and you feel so protective, and she just got taken off of her child bed.
Right.
That's what did it for me. But
the scene before this happens, whenever he asks to hold the baby, I was so scared. I was terrified.
I thought he was going to throw the baby in that brazier right there. I literally
Yes.
thought he was going to take the baby and throw it in the fire. I was like,
I did.
please
I
don't.
just the whole time I was like, no.
I mean, would you give Ramsay I wouldn't give him a stuffed animal I like.
Yeah, seriously.
And I guess you could say that they did a really good job at what they were trying to do, which is terrify everyone. I mean, because I felt it, so I don't know.
It worked, yeah.
It was very
I think
drawn
it's like that
out.
classic, classic horror movie where, it's like in the old Hitchcock movies where they would actually edit in extra stairs to make like the act of people walking down the stairs last longer to keep the suspense. Like they could have edited in like extra locks on the kennel
Extra
doors.
dog
you know?
pence.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on from that. I think we'll be talking about this scene a little more when we get to Chickie's mail. She has some things to say. All right, so next scene, we have Brienne and Sansa, and they're chatting about Arya and Winterfell. Sansa's silence speaks volumes when Brienne asks her, kind of about what happened to her. And Sansa says she wished that she had gone with her before, and Brienne tells her it was a difficult choice. And then they observe Theon, and she adds, we've all had to make difficult choices. Sansa talks to Theon. She tells him if he takes the black, his sins will be forgiven. Theon tells her he could never atone for what he's done, and he indicates he's going to leave. He asks for a horse. He wants to go home.
He wants to go home, but he won't be able to get to the Iron Islands on a horse. That's kind of a waste of a horse to me.
Good point. Unless he's going to the Pike. We don't know. No. I don't know where home is in Theon's head.
Well, I mean,
Kinda
that's
weird.
kind of the irony is he has no home. Winterfell was as close to a home as he had.
Oh, wow.
Definitely.
So does it mean he's going to do, are we assuming he's going back to Pike and maybe he's not?
I think.
I think he's going back to Pike. I just
Okay.
think he's never.
He's going to have some
he wants
really
to go-
bad timing.
Well, I mean, I just think he wants to go back in time. That's his home. His home is in Robb's camp before he made all these terrible decisions.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to the Pike because it's followed up by a scene at the Pike.
Okay.
And it's I'm gonna call her.
Brienne quick though.
Oh,
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we didn't really talk about it. Yeah.
So, any thoughts around why she didn't say the Hound? She said a man. I felt so bad for the Sand shippers there. Oh my God, they totally just.
I just thought maybe to protect, she was worried about Sansa getting upset if she heard that she was with the Hound. That was all I could.
she.
Yeah, I was surprised
The
that she
Hound's
didn't say
reputation
anything about
was so bad.
Yeah, that she didn't want to upset Sansa anymore. That was all I could think of. I don't know.
But again, you're just making up things.
Yeah, filling it in.
Agreed. Yeah, they could have at least said something. I don't know. Very strange.
It probably would have made Sansa feel better,
Yeah, I mean,
thought
Brienne
so,
wouldn't
yeah.
know that, but yeah, I mean, it would have.
Well, yeah,
that's
the last
true,
time Brienne
that's
saw
true.
the Hound, she was fighting
Yeah.
him to the death. So
Yeah.
And she doesn't know about Sansa's, kind of special
Yeah.
relationship
Oh,
with him.
okay. So that
Yeah.
wouldn't. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it doesn't. Yeah. Well, I was wrong, I guess.
no, I think she still should have said something. The truth is the truth. So I don't know.
I mean,
And
unless
that's her lady she's serving. She's supposed to be
Yeah,
on.
she's lying to her boss on her first day. God, Brienne.
unless
You're
there's some
doing it
reason,
wrong.
the writers left it out that we'll find out later, or just they left it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll see. Anybody else have anything to add about this scene before we go on?
Brienne looked pretty sad.
Mhm.
I don't know how she was just what is she in a funk about? She rescued Sansa. I felt like she should have been more jovial. I guess the part about her finding out about what happened to Sansa at Winterfell, but I don't know. I just felt like she should have been a little in better spirits. But
Yeah, I think
she
it's an.
got everything she wanted. She killed Stannis.
Yeah.
She got
Exactly
Sansa.
what
She
right?
should be on top of the world.
She's thinking about
That's-
Jaime. She's missing Jaime. That's why she's
Oh.
sad. That's why she's sad.
of course, before. She
Really?
could sense
She hasn't
that
said his
Jaime-
name.
We have to fill in the blank.
Yeah, she hasn't mentioned him in 2 years. Does she
Yeah,
even
and-
remember who he is?
That's another thing that I would have liked to have seen come out of her mouth. Like, by the way, Jaime sent me on this quest to protect you.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't
You
have
know?
taken long to put that in. You're right. It wouldn't have, easy.
It was
thing to
literally,
do.
it could have been a sentence, yeah.
Mhm.
She could have been like, "Oh, nice sword. Is that a lion?" As a
Nice
matter of
sword you
fact,
are obsessively stroking.
Was she cleaning it again? She was, wasn't she? Was she touching it again?
I don't think she was.
Was she?
or we could have had them like waking up the next morning type of scenario, and Sansa could be like, "Why are you like saying Jaime's name in your sleep so much?"
Oh, that
sorry,
would have been
Kat.
great.
Oh, I say Jamie's name in my sleep quite a bit, so.
Okay, great. Me then. All right, you guys ready to go to the pike?
Yeah.
Always.
Okay. Okay, now I know her name is Asha, but I'm calling her Yara because it's her
She
name. in the
looks
goddamn
terrible. She looks
Oh,
terrible.
I thought she looked good.
Good too.
It looked like she aged 30
I thought she looked
years.
hot.
Oh, God,
hot.
you guys are crazy.
One of my male coworkers IM'd me today, and specifically to say I was really attracted to Yara today. Like, yeah.
Oh my goodness. I felt like she used to be pretty, and I don't know what happened, but she looked
Oh,
terrible.
that's so funny.
That's wild. I can't believe someone said that she looked good. That was like the first thought. I thought it was a different actress. I really thought it was a
Really?
like, wow, they found an ugly version of the old actress.
Oh my God! You're a whole bunches.
We'd like to apologize to Gemma Whalen. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
Well, yes, I apologize. You were once pretty. I don't know what happened.
Oh my God!
Oh my god.
You are Jaime. She's aged 10 years.
She really? I don't know.
I thought she looked appropriately salty.
Oh no, I
Salty.
agree. She looked really I liked how she looked, but like I just think she looked so much better before. And like another thing, I felt like they went out of their way to get someone who isn't like, typically gorgeous, which I understand. But in the books, Theon literally thought she was so pretty that he almost, he almost pulled a Jaime and touched his sister.
Yeah, I've seen that complaint too, because like she's kind of supposed to be like a bombshell
Yeah,
vixen
right.
pirate, right? And,
Uh-huh.
but
I felt like you said, she looked like, as far as she looked like a weathered pirate lady, which is cool, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've kind of I don't know. Well, like I get it, because like I used to be really upset with the new James Bond because he's not hot.
Get out of here. I love Daniel Craig.
He's all craggly and doesn't do it for me. Like
Yeah,
I
he's
like
a
the pretty
goofy-looking
boys,
dude.
so I kind of get what you're saying there, but I can kind of forgive this.
Different strokes, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
I
Yeah,
think
I
she
guess
carries
if someone
it
out
off.
there said she was pretty, whatever, I guess they did it right. It really looked like, I felt like she either got addicted to like hard drugs or she like aged quite a bit.
It's all that seawater, salt in the sun.
Looks aside, she
Hard
pulls
living
off
in the Iron Islands.
Asha.
Exactly.
She's got
I mean,
the
look at Balon.
Oh, he looked like he aged. He did.
Oh yeah.
Like 100 years.
Of the
It's that
70s.
walk across that bridge every day. It'll do it too.
What hell of a commute.
Okay, so we talked enough about her looks. Now we're gonna go on to the scene.
Apologies.
Okay, so Yara gives her father grim battle reports and losses of the mainland. Yara is talking peace, and Balon is not having it. He goes for a nice nightly stroll on one of those creaky swaying bridges when he's stopped by his younger brother Euron. They banter a
Lemmy
bit.
from Motorhead.
What?
He looks like Lemmy from Motorhead.
now I have to Google. I forget.
Yeah, because Lemmy,
Lemmy.
everyone knows what Lemmy looks like.
Yeah.
We'll look it up.
We're all like, just so everyone listening knows, we're all frantically Googling Motorhead.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys see that? I'm going to continue this. So they banter a bit, and then finally Euron tells Balon, "I am the storm, the first storm and the last. You're in my way." And then he just tosses him over.
I mean, like, I know we're not, in the long run, we're not going to like him, but I really liked him.
Yeah, I thought he was a good introduction, but they didn't even
Yeah.
say his name, right? They never once said his name.
I thought they did. Or maybe
I felt
maybe
like
it's because I'm a book reader and I know
exactly.
who he is.
I knew exactly who it was, but like they never. The one cool thing to nod to book readers, the pine cone and whatever she used
Yeah.
so that was cool when Asha was talking to him. But I don't think they said Euron's name. I gotta watch it again.
I don't think they did either. I think he just said brother.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, maybe that's why we know it's Euron.
Yeah.
So the next day at Balon's funeral, Yara swears upon the Salt Throne she'll avenge her father, and Aeron tells her it's not her place to swear upon the Salt Throne. It's up to the King's Moot. She'll have to earn it.
Yeah, he was pretty salty.
He was salty.
He was like a huge dick to her. Like, and I mean, I know he's, that's accurate, but
I don't know. I felt like he kind of liked her in the book. He was kind of behind, a little bit behind her. He wasn't like 100%, but I felt like he was kind of a real jerk. But whatever.
I was kind of bothered with how they set Balon's body in that flotation device thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, with their baptism, how they pretty much drown people in their religion, and then they bring them back and they give them like CPR or whatever. I would think whenever you die as an Ironborn, they probably just sink your body.
Yeah, like dump you off a boat or something. That's what I was thinking. I was trying to understand when it would sink. I was like, that thing looks pretty sturdy. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I
thought it was just going to come right back into shore.
Yeah, I thought too. It's going to sit 3 feet away.
Those waves are blowing that thing right back.
I don't know how well they thought this funeral.
Yeah, I'm glad we're all on the same page because that was exactly what I was thinking.
So King's Moot, probably Euron, maybe Theon, Yara, Asha.
That'll be interesting if Theon makes it back in time with his magic jetpack, maybe? How long out is the moot? I don't know.
He might have a really great course.
That'll be like next season, right?
Gendry.
Next season.
Gendry will pick him up on the shore and take him over the King's Moot.
He's just gonna row his little butt off.
You don't think we're gonna get King's Moot this season, Eon?
Oh,
I'm just being sarcastic.
Oh, definitely. It's gonna be I feel like next episode.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe not the next, but at least next 2 probably.
Yeah, so we don't forget the hell they're talking about.
I would hope so, because I mean they just introduced Balon's brother.
Yeah,
and
they gotta
want to know who this guy is.
Grand entrance.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
they made sure to bring up the King's Moot, right? Like he made kind of a point of it to Yara.
Yeah.
So.
Like they actually explained something in the show that's going to happen instead of just making us trying to guess. So
Yeah.
we
I mean, maybe we'll
them
see
that.
what Mega's bones. Isn't that what it was called? It's like these.
Yeah, the big like whale thing or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
so
would be cool.
Hopefully they'll do that if they can do that. I mean, if they actually remember that part from the book.
Yeah. That'd be interesting.
Okay, let's go to the next scene. We have Davos and Melisandre. They're talking magic and Jon Snow. She shares that she did once meet a priest who could bring someone back, but it's not for her. And Mel breaks a moment, and she tells Davos he was right all along. The Lord never spoke to her. Davos says, fuck him. Fuck all the gods. He wants her to try, and she does. She gives Jon a sponge bath, trims his hair and beard, throws a bit into the fire while chanting. She lays her hands on him and chants some more, but nothing happens. Everyone leaves, dejected. Ghost stirs, and Jon gasps. He's alive.
That was a good. I really thought that I knew Jon was coming back, but the way they set that up, I was like, this isn't gonna work. He's not they're gonna push it back another episode. So they really did.
I was expecting them to drag this out for a couple episodes. Yeah.
I think as soon as go ahead. Go. I was gonna say as soon as I saw Nikolai's tweet about how happy he was about this episode, I knew it was going to be Jon Lodge. You figured the entire cast was just so sick of the same questions.
I really do appreciate they've done it episode 2, because now they don't have to deal with it, right? That's probably why they're happy.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Did you see Jon apologize? He's like, I'm sorry to all the fans that I lied, and I'm a bad man.
And all the fans are like, dude, we knew.
Yeah,
it's fine.
You didn't lie. You just, you got paid to tell us that you were dead. We understand.
What I really liked was the parallel you have between like Thoros of Myr and Melisandre. You see this with Thoros of Myr. I mean, he lost his faith. He went to, drinking the booze and whoring and everything. He lost his religion. And then you see Melisandre, she's pretty much in the dumps too right now because, I mean, she had all these prophecies. She thought she was helping Stannis, and she's hit rock bottom. And it's awesome that you have somebody like Davos. I mean, if you're having a bad day, just talk to Davos.
He's a good cheerleader.
Davos, the motivational speaker.
And you know, and that's a good point, because you notice how
Life
she
coach.
was covered in a a blanket, and her face, they don't have that glowing makeup on her anymore, so they're definitely portraying her as completely, at that rock bottom point.
Mm-hmm. Can we give a shout out to Carice Van Houten? Her acting this season has been fucking phenomenal.
It has been.
I feel like she should have gotten naked in that scene, though.
Oh, I feel like she should have done some more. Did anyone know? Maybe it's just my mind, but when she cut his hair and his beard, I was like, she should have gone for a nice pube trim.
Yeah,
one wants to feel their best when they have post-death sex.
I had somebody say to me today, I don't understand that other dude, Barrett, the guy that raised Beric Dondarrion. I'm like, Thoros of Myr. He never had to do the washing and the hair trimming. He just laid on top of him. And
doing that for fun.
She just wanted to stroke him and massage him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think pretty much what it showed. I mean, you don't understand what she's saying, but she's saying please at the end, and I think whatever brought him back was almost like a plea to whatever magic actually brought Jon Snow back. Was just that desperation, that please,
Yeah, she doesn't know what she's doing. This is the first time, right? She didn't have to do all that other stuff.
She could have been saying anything, because none of them knew what she was saying. She could have been saying, "Oh God, please."
Citing her grocery list.
She didn't have any leeches this time, so she had to, give Jon a haircut.
Well, we don't think
better make this look
was
good.
in his hair.
I mean, Jon Snow has only had one haircut in the whole series.
He's like Samson. All his power was in his hair, and she put it in the fire.
I kind of like that. She has no idea what she's doing, so she's just doing different things to make it look like she knows what she's doing.
She's like, oh, just appease them and make them.
Try 10 things, maybe one will work.
I mean, I feel like that in her POV chapter in Dance, that is kind of what she's like to a certain extent.
Yeah, definitely.
She's out of her depth. She doesn't understand all the power that she has.
Throwing things
especially at the wall. She was super surprised at the.
I was almost expecting the necklace to start. It might have been a little cheesy, but I was expecting the necklace to start glowing, or.
Yeah, ooh, that would have been cool.
Maybe she puts the necklace on Jon, and then he.
And then she turns into an old lady.
So I thought it was in the preview. I thought it was interesting when Tormund says, they think you're some kind of god, which I'm like, well, wouldn't technically Mel be the god? She's the one who did something. Brought it back. Yeah. Right, he just, he's just alive.
Yeah, because she resurrected him. Yeah, that's a really good point.
I mean, who's the god, the resurrector or the resurrectee?
Indeed, well said. Who was that guy, Lazarus? What did?
Really, we don't think Lazarus was a god.
Yeah, right.
Wow, biblical references, good.
Boom! Drop the Bible reference on you guys. You did not see that coming. Donkey leg goes deep into the Bible.
Well, that scene. I mean, when she was washing his hair, there was so many. As soon as it cut to his eyes opening, I literally started singing "Jesus Christ, Superstar."
I was thinking of the Terminator music myself.
That's even better.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Say, though, I feel like the fans really needed this moment. For those who may have been surprised by it, the 4 that are out there, I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's been some really stupid criticism this week. I think about Game of Thrones should have let Jon Snow stay dead because it's not daring anymore. And it's it might not be daring, but this has been completely telegraphed for 3 books and, 2 or 3 seasons of the show. And there's something to be said for good storytelling. Like, you don't subvert tropes and be daring for the sake of doing that. That gives you a story that means nothing.
Exactly. I mean, and he could always die next episode, so there's that.
And then they'll just bring him back.
Yeah, that would be the most shocking thing they could do, would be to immediately kill him shortly after he comes back.
But I think there's this perception, because Ned died and, and the Red Wedding, that there's all these shocking events when, I mean, that's said by people that I don't think watched the show or read the books, because, I mean, Game of Thrones, the book, is basically a bunch of chapters leading up to Ned's very obvious death because of all the mistakes that he makes. And, the Red Wedding happens for, like, very specific, understandable, foreseeable reasons. Like, these things don't just happen out of the blue.
Well, the same thing with Jon. He was definitely doing a lot of stuff to anger the rest of the brothers. Yep. So, so you're right. It does. There was always, good evidence for the deaths. Yeah.
The prologue of Dance is the whole story of Varamir Sixskins, and that's, absolutely telegraphing what we think is going to happen.
That's why. What do you guys think? Was he in Ghost, or did Ghost just wake up because he could sense that he was coming back? What do you guys think about that?
I had always originally thought that he was just in Ghost, but the way it played on this scene, to me it looked like Ghost was alerted by Jon's presence.
Right, he just looked like he was taking a doggy nap, and then he was waking up because Jon was waking up.
Yeah, and they confirmed that on Inside the Episode, that he...
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they mentioned that he just... the dog was aware and connected, and he woke up when he,
Because...
But I think in the books, he will be in Ghost.
Oh, yeah, I thought that too. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, for sure. Like you said, with Varamir, the prologues always have some type of bearing. So, Varamir didn't just the story wasn't told for no reason. So, I think it could be a Ghost. But one thing I noticed, I took a screenshot in the very beginning of the episode, right before they break in. They're on Jon's body, and his abdomen. You could see a dire wolf in his cut. It looked like a wolf. Yeah, I'm telling you, go back and look. I took a screenshot.
I'm gonna have to watch this now.
It's like the blood spot. Yeah.
Too much CGI with his wounds and blood and animals.
Well, so it's not even like his blood. It's like the way everything was dark except this one section on his stomach, and I don't know if I was just tripping and hoping it was a wolf, but I hadn't taken any mushrooms, so I don't think I was tripping, and I saw it certainly looked like a wolf to me.
Take a look.
I'll take another look at that. All right. Any last comments before we wrap this up? Nope. Okay. That's a no.
Wait. I had something, but now I forgot.
That's okay. If you find it, we'll come back to you, okay? Yeah. All right. Let's do some mail in the meantime.
All right. I got a lot of mail. And our first one is from our lovely Chikrin on Tumblr.
Oh, what's our sweet angel have to say?
Yes, she's full of vitriol right now. She's pissed. She says, wow. I had no idea that Ramsay Bolton would stoop so low to mercilessly. I can't talk.
Mercilessly?
No, I'm having. We know what you mean. Go.
To mercilessly drag a woman from the birthing bed out into the cold, only to then feed her along with her newborn baby to his dogs? Shit, I'm shocked, astounded. This revealed so many vital new aspects of Ramsay's character. I mean, before this scene, how could we have guessed how remorselessly cruel Ramsay could be? How could we have known? With every single sickening, slow-moving moment as I watched Walter realize the tiny, helpless son she just labored to bring into the world was going to be ripped apart by dogs, I felt a brand new horror at the prospect that Ramsay may not be the decent guy I've previously believed him to be. Anyway.
Good meat. You gotta, dogs are
good meat. It's good meat.
Oh my gosh.
So I saw a great, I know it's horrible, but I couldn't help but laugh. There's a meme on Twitter with Walda, and it just says, maybe a dingo ate your baby.
Oh my gosh.
Kyle, get out.
That's so too. But Chicky says, anyway, now that I've vented my spleen, I gotta say I miss you all. Last week's ep had me laughing my sweet ass off. Love you, dorks. P.S. I'm so glad Calm didn't have to podcast for this one. Rip show, Roos, you hot bastard.
Aw.
Yeah.
We miss you, Chicky, and we're gonna miss hot bastard Bruce.
Big Papa
Kramer-
Bowl.
Not as much as Kama.
Kama said, like, I'm just giving her postscript, her P.S. I am still not okay. If ever they could have just inferred someone's death, it was Walda and that baby's. That was just exploitative and upsetting. See, we have Watkins. Watkins says, "Bah, I was wrong about Ramsay killing Roos."
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
I thought about that too. I was like, I wish I could see his face.
Yeah. He says, "I thought he was the one thing Ramsay respected. My predictions are often wrong, which is why I like GOT and appreciate insights from others to explain where I went wrong. Well, I guess we're getting Bastard Bowl. Anyways, can you explain to me why Davos cares so much about Jon and why we didn't get the briefest moment of mourning Stannis?"
Yeah,
I
that's
believe
exactly
Patsy
what I
brought
feel
that
for.
up.
Yeah, I feel exactly. See, you guys, the two men you brought on the show, we really know what we're talking about.
They know they need their bro moment, right? Like,
No, I mean, it's totally valid. Like, why? Yeah. Again,
why
give us
Jonathan?
that. Give us that
that's-
1 minute scene of, you know. Of,
Do you think this is gonna? Well, obviously Davos isn't at the wall in the books, but like, I guess they're kind of like melding how Davos is gonna like fall in love with Baby Rickon, and maybe like that's their way of like, moving around that plot. He's gonna support this Stark instead of that Stark.
Yeah.
We got an anon that said, "Brilliant episode, even though midget with a bad pussy made me embarrass myself on a bus." But I agree that Dagger had such a small blade, it was ridiculous. I was a bit bothered by Pod feeding Sansa lines. She should know it herself, and I think it funny that the dicks are so appalled by male nudity as straight men, but are also so obsessed with cocks or lack thereof. One more thing, your YouTube video was a gift. Please continue making them. Can't wait for the next one. Love you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
Chicky did awesome, man. Those
Yeah.
videos.
Let's see. We got an email from Lady Blade. I just want to say thank you. She did start it off with saying, "I'm going to make a note right here and now that if I ever meet D&D, I'm going to rip out their vocal cords and make them
Jesus.
eat them."
because of the excess violence? Because there's some irony in that statement.
I just wanted to say thank you for the pic of your mom's late murder chihuahua, and that we're truly sorry about your lost wallet. It was a truly badass wallet. And thank you so much for your email. We love your emails every week. Yeah. We got one from Steven, and Steven says, "Hi, everyone at Close the Door and Come Here. Let me say how enjoyable it was listening to your last podcast, and to realize that I was not the only one who thought that episode number 1 of the new season of GOT was, shall we say, less than perfect. In one episode alone, we were treated to Worm Cuddly Cersei, Brienne as merciless killing machine, Jaime as who? And of course the Sand Snakes as extras from a particularly bad episode of Xena Warrior Princess. What next? Stay tuned as we thrill yet again to Loras Tyrell as two-dimensional gay stereotype, and perhaps even Daenerys as white queen surrounded by happy, grateful brown faces. I don't know about you guys, but I can hardly wait. What happened to a once great series? I know it's only the first episode, but they managed to cram it all in all the stuff I don't like. Way to go, D&D. Now I understand the adaptation from page to screen requires alteration, etc., but this was, let's be honest, a sham of a mockery. At least hearing you lot slag it off made me laugh, so keep up the good work."
I swear to God, we don't pay these people. These are actual messages we receive.
Do
We
you
got
guys
one-
think we're ever gonna go back to Dorne? Like, what do you think is gonna happen?
I hope
Yeah.
not.
We can
Yeah.
only hope.
I
We
hope
don't.
we have like I hope we have a scene of Daenerys on her dragon, and Daenerys just catches Dorne on fire. I'd be happy
Like
with
that,
that.
the Bugs Bunny cartoon where they just cut Florida off the map. They're just going to do that with Dorne.
Yeah, I would be happy with that.
I just want the Doom too, and I want it to like just sink into the ocean.
Like maybe she could ship
spoilers though
Jorah
that
there.
I think there's spoilers that have Varys and Olenna in Dorne, so I think we will see them again, however limited.
That'll be Varys and Olenna. That'll be cool. I like that. That'll be nice.
One can hope.
Well, yeah. That's the only thing that might make Dorne okay as an angry old lady.
That'll be interesting to see if they could actually make Dorne better. If anybody can make Dorne better.
Yeah. Well, they
A
sent
scene with them.
Yeah, if Jaime and Bronn couldn't do it, I don't know.
I know, they're just like, the next hit will be Jon Snow. Well, this guy's got to make it interesting.
God.
Because they're on vacation.
I think we need to keep Jon Snow away from the sand snakes, really.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Jon Snow.
We have one from Rachel. It says, I'm thinking that Watkins is being overly optimistic in regards to Larry. At this point, I have about given up hope that he's ever going to get to go with his book self, and it breaks my damn heart because I love Book Jaime. Book Jaime owns my soul. I don't know what the show thinks it's doing with him, and I'm almost afraid to find out. Also, fuck Ramsay Sue and the murder dogs he rode in on. And Joe Ilaria and the Sand Snakes can go right to hell. And they even put this little, like, kitty cat
I like that.
in Joy. I love it. It's a bad pussy.
You guys really bring the anger out of people.
Apparently.
We stir the stew.
Well, Rachel is actually our guest next week, so
exciting.
if you like that, there's more to come next week.
Oh, I got a feeling that's going to be a feisty episode.
We got
the last we got more? Oh my gosh.
Got one more. I know, right?
So I love.
This is from Lois, and Lois says, Dear Got Ladies, I once wrote an email to you with the subject, Close the door and nail it shut. This was right after the episode with Stannis Baratheon and his lovely wife immolated their daughter. Since then, I had not watched the TV show except for last season's final episode with Daenerys jumped on her black dragon sharply spiked back, and as they flew away, I said, that had to hurt. I follow your podcast faithfully and look forward to the ones wherein you comment on the show and the books. I watched the first episode this season, and I have to tell you that I look forward to your snarky, razor-edged, right-on comments so much that I could hardly wait. You did not disappoint. I was bored with the sand snakes in the book, and they are even more pointless in the show. You are all sharp, and you don't miss much, if anything, and for sure there is not enough podcast time for you to cover anything, but if I may say so, I wish you had mentioned that Myrcella never knew Jaime was her father, much less told him so, and Cersei never told her father that she and Jaime had been lovers most of their lives, and that their kids were fathered by her brother. It just didn't happen.
That was a really weird scene. I mean, that's like going back, but yeah, that was odd.
It was strange.
Yeah.
Again, just let your brain turn it into something that makes sense.
What?
I'm trying.
That our brains have to do a lot for D&D.
Yeah. But she says, but now... Oh, what were you going to say?
Go on. No,
Okay.
you're good.
Okay. But now I guess the show is going off on its own tangent. George needn't bother to write another book unless he has spent all the advance money and pressure and is being brought to bear. I may peek at the TV show from time to time, or maybe not, but I will always be waiting impatiently for your next podcast. If D&D would just consult with you, they could have a much better production.
I know, right? Like,
Right?
You know how to, I'll tell them how to reach us in a minute, but yeah.
But with fondness and regard, Lois the Fox, Henry. And P.S. I gave you 5 stars on iTunes, but could not find out where to post comments. I was born in the early half of the last century, so do not have 2 text typing thumbs, as do my grandchildren. Come on.
wow. You guys
You're
have old
not
people
really
that-
asking, what does she mean by that? Are you really?
Wise people is what you meant there, Patsy. All right. Thank you, Eon, for reading all those.
Yeah.
But going back to the last one, I feel like Book Jaime was pretty well represented up until season 4. Like the first,
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, we feel it's,
So
we're happy with
I don't
it.
know what happened. Like they had a pretty good thing going, and then they blew it.
I really think it's because they brought Jaime back to King's Landing
Too early.
Too
Yeah.
early.
Yeah. Because they have, he is a beautiful man. They have a great actor. Like, he is Jaime Lannister. I feel it, but I don't know.
So he's not like that hideous Asha.
Yep. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Oh, God, don't bring that up again.
Like, it literally, like, as soon as I saw her face, I was like,
Here we go.
What happened? Like, I'm done, but...
Okay. Was that the point you wanted to bring up? You said you had forgotten something. I swear to God, it better not have been that.
I just had to round back to that, how she aged.
Okay.
No, it was something I wanted to ship somebody, and I was, like, so behind it, but now... Nope, that wasn't. I forget.
You can always mail us later. Yeah, we're always looking for new ships.
Several ways you can reach us at Close the Door and at gmail.com, Close the Door and comehere.tumblr.com. You can reach us at Door Podcast on Twitter. Please subscribe, like, review, whatever on iTunes, Google Music. And support us on Patreon, please. Don't forget to check us out. We have the YouTube channel, which you've been hearing about throughout this season. Chicky and Wonkins have been doing amazing jobs creating those for us. And I want to thank you, Patsy, for being such an awesome guest. And we're
I agree. I feel like I was pretty awesome. I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you think so.
Own it. I like it. Where can we find you?
I'm putting together a podcast, and it's going to be Donkey Leg's Song of Ice and Fire.
It's unique.
A Donkey Leg just stuck, so I'm going to roll with it,
So we can find you on your new podcast as well as your Instagram.
Yes, my Instagram, Donkey Leg, Donkey_leg.
You could have been a hyphen post, you know that.
Yeah.
What is hyphen post? It sounds so awesome when you say it, and I'm like, I don't even know what I don't even know what that is.
It's not important. It's really not important.
Yeah, it sounds good. That's all that matters. It sounds super sweet.
Oh, this is awesome. Good episode. Thank you, everybody. My girls. Have a
Yes.
Show.
This was fun. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night.
Keep it funky, guys. Everyone out there, keep it funky.
Yes, keep it funky.
That's my sign off. I just wanted to drop that on you guys.
Damn, we all need good sign-off lines now.
But yeah.
Yes.
If I could inspire you guys, that would be awesome.
I feel inspired.
That's our assignment for next
We'll have to
episode.
think
We're
of
going to
one.
have...
Yeah, I want every one of you to have a
mean, we kind of have a catchphrase. We could just end it. All right, good night, everybody. Get out.
We are closing the door. Time to get out.
Oh,
that's
there
a
we
good
go.
one.
Closing the door. Get out.